Alrighty, so this is where we've been the last 2 nights. This is the cabin at Standing Bear Farm. It is really a cozy place. I didn't even look in that cabinet there. There's a loft up here. Gavin and I slept up there. Gavin was over on this side and I was over here. And last night we had the gas logs on and it was toasty warm in here. In fact, it was so hot last night about midnight we had to turn it off so I could go to sleep. But we're getting ready to head out for the day. Hopefully we'll make 10. If we can hike till 5, I think we can do that, 5 or 5:30, and find a good campsite. And our goal is to catch Travis in the next few days. So thought I'd share this with you. Really great place to stay, and I'm looking forward to coming back here to visit sometime once we get off trail. Morning, and sadly we are walking away from Standing Bear Farm because we've had a wonderful stay the last day and a half. It's been such a neat place. We met so many interesting people, young, old, in between, and it's just, we were made just to feel right at home, and it was a real blessing. We slept really well here. A little hot last night, but we got the heater turned back a little bit about midnight, and I settled right on in and got to sleep. And I got cold about 4, so we got the heater back on and fell right back asleep. It was good. I was fortunate that today that I did not get sucked in by the coffee pot. We've got great weather to hike in today. It's going to be a little chilly, but it's a lot warmer than it was yesterday. I think temperatures got down into the 20s last night, low 20s, especially up on the mountain. So we did the right thing, I believe, by staying here. There was snow up on the mountains. We'll probably see some today. But we're going to see if we can do at least 10 or so. We've got to catch up with Travis because he did go out yesterday morning before we could meet and discuss and talk about staying an extra day. So we'll see if we can catch him by Hot Springs. That's 3 days. Hopefully if he'll slow down a little bit and we speed up, we'll meet up again then. Talk to you soon. Well, this is looking back where we've come so far today, which is not terrifically far. We didn't come over those mountains today, but you can see that there's some, if you look carefully, you can see there's some snow up there. And that's what we avoided by staying indoors yesterday, and I think we made the right choice. So anyway, trail comes up this way. Here comes Gavin, he's singing, so he must be happy. We both had a really good time at Standing Bear. It'd be nice to stay another day, but we need to get to moving, so we're on the road today. We're on the trail today. Well, we've been on the trail for, I don't even know, an hour or so maybe. And to this point, all we have done is climb hill. And I think it's gonna be that way for a little while, but we will have some respite sometime a little bit later in the day. I just kind of wonder if that's where we're headed. I don't know whether we go back down over that ridge. Guess I could get Peak Finder out and find that out. It's kind of what it's for. But it's hopefully a pretty day out here. I've already shucked my raincoat and my beanie. And Travis and I have been going round and around about the proper name for that. He says toque or beanie. I called it a toboggan, and he said, wait a minute, a toboggan's a sled that you ride down the hill. And I guess that's just one of those southernisms that we have. But at any rate, I've been proud to have it. It's been a nice hat, whatever you call it. Keeps me warm at night. Usually start out during the morning with it on. And it'll trap in some body heat. It's wool, so if it gets a little sweaty, it's still warm. Or if it gets a little rainy and I forget to pull my hood over it, it's still warm. So, well, looks like for at least a minute or so, we're not going as up as we were. So we'll be thankful for that and wander on. Well, I'm afraid to check my guide, but at the moment we're not going uphill. But we did come by this little clearing right here with these rocks, which I think is really kind of a nifty place to sit. Maybe even it would be a good place to eat a little bit of lunch. But I think we'll move on up the trail just a tad, see if we can find another place like this. We're out almost 2 hours yet, and I want to stop after about 2 hours and have a quick bite and re-energize just a little bit. Stream again. We've been hiking a bit here, and we're coming up through the rhododendron, and there's a little campsite right over here. I think I read about that somewhere. Got a tent or two over there. There's a fire pit already laid in there. Water's right there. be a really kind of a handy place if we were later in the day. And that's actually the kind of a place we're looking for today, is something small right by a stream. I think we've got one picked out at Brown Gap. It's about 10 miles out for us today. So should be there before too late in the evening and have a chance to sit down and relax, set up our campsite, and get to bed early. And maybe before going to bed, maybe we could do some stargazing. I think that would be kind of cool. Well, we're still hiking up and beginning to see the remnants of snow that we missed out on by staying down at Standing yesterday. And I still think we made the right choice. We're maybe a mile or so off the top of this one. And then after that, I think we've got some smooth sailing for a little while. But the trail is nice and wide. The grade has been really nice, not terrifically taxing, except for coming in off of a day and a half of indoors and rest and comfortable beds. That makes a difference. We're moving on up the trail. Well, I just stopped to adjust my pack and then noticed that the peak over here that we're getting ready to go to, I think, because the trail goes around to the right, is still pretty snow covered from a few days ago. So I guess we'll be walking through that a little bit just here a little shortly. Gavin's back hiking with Wednesday, who's an old trail friend of ours. We met her probably week 2, and we were able to reconnect back at Standing Bear this past couple of days. And she's a wonderful person. Gavin enjoys talking with her. She's a nurse from Kansas City, and we've really been blessed to have her in our path on days when we really needed somebody to chat with and to talk to and to motivate us and to keep everything positive. So we're blessed with all the people that we've met out here. Thanks to all of you guys. Reached the peak of the mountain or not, but it's certainly a nice reprieve from climbing. You can still hear that I'm a little bit winded, but it's a beautiful, beautiful day. And say thanks to all the folks who have given us advice that we've met along the trail, in shelters and hostels and hotels and all over. This is really a team sport, even though it's just Gavin and me. There's a whole lot of folks that have contributed to the body of knowledge that we're trying to put into action here. And I want to say a big thanks to all of those folks. The list is way too numerous to name, and most of the folks probably don't even know that I exist, but I've learned from their YouTube channels or their product reviews or their blogs, or in some cases personal advice. I appreciate all those folks, because this is not something that you want to do if you're not well prepared for it. Alrighty, still climbing, but I think we might be near to the end. I just turned a corner and here's this grassy bald with some sort of a structure on top of it. Don't know if it's military or FAA or what. Somebody was telling me about this, I think. But we're gonna head out here through the grass, and I bet when we get to the top of it, there will be a place that we can sit down and eat some lunch. And I'm ready for that, because I think this might be the top of this thing. We'll see how it goes. For the moment, I'll just keep it right here. Wow, I'm still breathing heavily and slurring my words here. But there is a bit of reward when you've slogged along for a while and you get to the top of something, and even more so when there might be something interesting to see on the other side. In this case, I think it might be a view. We'll sort of see what happens. Gavin and Wednesday, Hawkeye and Wednesday, are still coming up behind me. They're not too far back. They're making good time today too. Oh, this last little bit is going to get me all winded again. I want to keep it here so you can see it when I see it, but I'm struggling with just one trekking pole pushing off here. But it's not much farther. stop and turn around. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to remember when you're on the trail to stop and turn around occasionally. That's the ridge line I think that I showed you earlier in the day. We put some distance between us and it now. It is a beautiful, beautiful day to be going uphill on the Appalachian Trail. Excuse me, my nose is running. Got a message from Travis yesterday that he ran into snow and ice up here and that we made the right choice. And I'd say up here on this exposed area here, it was probably pretty nasty. Well, there's a medallion from a survey marker. I'm not going to go quite over to that thing. It looks like a big silo of some kind. We'll go around it. I can hear it humming a little bit. Something electric over there. We're going to skirt this ridge. Thankfully it's a little flatter. And go around over to this other one here. So anyway, you can sort of see what I'm seeing. Still have to look up and see what that thing is. But pretty sure it's one of those things that you don't go near without breaking some laws or something. I'll read about it and let you know. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down here and get over to this next top. Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. Because right here you can sort of see up there. Yeah, there it is. Still don't know what it is. I see a big sign in the window though that says warning. I have a feeling that says warning, don't mess with this or you're gonna be in a heap of trouble. So let me shut her down. I might walk over there to it just for a minute, take a closer picture. Walked over here to it and I see what it is now. I think this is an air traffic control waypoint. You can see from the sign there that says it's used in FFA air traffic control, and you don't need to be in there messing around. So I can understand that. We've got one of those in Alexander County. And I wonder, I'm going to have to pull out Peak Finder because I really wonder if that might be Max Patch right over there. That's on our short list of things to do tomorrow if we camp where I'm hoping to be tonight. We're going to be only a couple or 3 miles out from that. And that's one of the first big grassy balds that we'll encounter on our trip. So we're really kind of looking forward to that. So the trail goes right on over this little ridge right here. I'm gonna go up there to the corner of it and sit down and see about maybe some lunch. Okay, so I wanted to tell you, this is where we had lunch. And it was absolutely gorgeous. I need to take a panorama of this, and I almost walked off this bald before I did it. Of course, I guess we'll have a better view tomorrow, but truly a beautiful day today to be hiking. Valley down below, you can see the roadway almost in there. Still some snow on the mountains. I'm gonna head down this way and back into the woods. We have finally reached the downhill section, and I'm gonna stop right here, slow things down a little bit for me because I've been barreling down this downhill. But right up there's Max Patch, through the 2 big trees right there. That bald right there, that's where we're gonna be in the morning. And really looking forward to that because it's going to give us some incredible views. Our trek this morning is, or this afternoon is just kind of down through the woods. We're about 3 miles out from the shelter. Still in negotiations as to whether we're staying there or moving to a campsite about 3 miles beyond that, but we'll see when we get there. But we're still moving along. And since lunch, we have been going downhill sometimes pretty severely, but it's been a good trip. It's less exertion than going uphill, but as you know from previous videos, it's also harder on the knees, although knock wood, mine have been doing pretty well today. We've not had too terribly many rocks and water bars to step over and around, and that does make things a bit easier to not have to stop and take, foot 18-inch steps down every now and again, because that's where you really get the pounding in your knees, is when you're making those deep steps and you're landing with your body weight and your pack weight down on your legs. So at any rate, we're probably less than a mile from the shelter or thereabouts. It's I figure we're doing at least 2 miles an hour. So let's say we're a mile or a mile and a few tenths away from the shelter. Still trying to decide if we're going to stay there or if we're going to push on 3 more miles. I believe it is. I'll have to check the map when we get there to the campsite that I had actually picked for tonight. But we'll play it by ear and see how things go. But it's a beautiful hiking day. We're down in the pines and the rhododendrons, and there's a little bit of everything down here. Actually, not so many. Well, no, I think that might be. It's hard to say without stopping and looking up. There's pine needles, so I know there's pine trees, but there's also some broadleaf trees down through here. So a Duke's mixture of everything. Mountain laurel, right there. It's going to be. It's just been a really beautiful day of hiking. We've seen some snow. We saw a small, whoops, dropped a trekking pole. We saw a small bald, sorry about that, up there where the FFA tower is. And we're just in the shadow of Max Patch. I was looking to see if I see it up here on the ridge line, but I don't right now. We may have come around. That could be, yeah, I think that's it up there in front of us, but it's very hard to see through the trees right now. This is the area surrounding Groundhog Creek Shelter. This is our home for tonight. We got the beer cables hanging over here. Got our food up. There's a few folks tenting down there that we met a few days ago at Standing Indian. And there's Wednesday brushing her teeth. And here's our shelter. These are our friends from Germany that we met today. And someone posited that they should go by the names Hansel and Gretel. I don't know whether they like that or not, but it's a possibility. And then there's my tent, and then there's another gentleman up the way here. But this is going to be our home this evening. I think it's supposed to get down to about 32 degrees. So I'm hoping to bundle up really nicely in my tent and stay warm. Really beautiful area here. I suspect we'll see some stars later on because, well, maybe not. It's getting a little cloudy. But hopefully we'll all rest well and we'll be able to get up and get out tomorrow. We are a little short of what we had our mileage goal set for today, but we'll make it up. We've got 2 really long days coming that, you know, hopefully will not have as long or at least not as sustained an uphill battle as we've had today. So we're looking forward to the trek tomorrow. We're going to do 13.1 tomorrow, and then we'll be out the day after tomorrow with another 13.1 into Hot Springs. So we'll talk to you in the morning.